Friends, this is Aishwarya from freshersworld.com. Welcome to our YouTube channel on Jobs and Careers. The topic that we are going to look today is averages. So what is averages? We generally know the formula. Averages is nothing but sum of observations by total number of observations. So this is a basic formula of averages. What do they generally give? They will give you a set of numbers. You add all the numbers divided by the total number of numbers, and that's how you're going to find averages. There are basic concepts which you should know for solving the averages. So first is consecutive numbers. What is consecutive numbers? It's nothing but x plus 1, x plus 2. I will tell you why we should know these and the type of problems which you can easily solve from these kind of problems. So first is consecutive numbers, which is nothing but, let's take x is as 1. So x plus 1 is 2, 3. Similarly, let's take x is as 50. Then x plus 1, 52, 53, 54 and so on. So these are consecutive numbers. Consecutive odd numbers. For consecutive odd numbers, it is x, x plus 2, x plus 4 and so on. Let's take x as 1. So it becomes 1, 3, 5, so on. Let's take x as 90, then it becomes 93, 95, 97 and so on. So for consecutive odd numbers, you know the formula is x plus 2 of the x variable. So let's take for consecutive even numbers. So here the formula is same as consecutive odd numbers. So this changes based on the value of x that you take. Let's take x is as 2. So it becomes 4, 6, 8 and so on. Let's take, I'm taking the x as 44. So it becomes 44, 46, 48 and so on. So now you understand the concept of consecutive numbers, consecutive odd numbers and consecutive even numbers. So when you face these type of questions, I will tell you how easily to find the averages of them. So first question that they have given is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as you can see these are consecutive numbers. So by seeing this, you don't have to do the general averages formula like adding all these, dividing it by 5. By seeing this, it is always known that the middle number is your average. You can cross check it by adding it and dividing it by 5. So if you given a consecutive number, always remember that the middle one is the answer for that. Let's take another example. What is the question here? 1, 3, 5, 7. So this is nothing but consecutive odd numbers. So similarly, let's take it for consecutive odd numbers or consecutive even numbers or whatever be the question. Why we understood the consecutive numbers, consecutive odd and even numbers? That's because all these three types, always the middle number will be your average. You should always remember this. Once you see this, you don't have to calculate anything. Within split second you can write the average is nothing but 5 here. Let's take the next question. So they've given us 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are consecutive numbers. So as we know that in consecutive number, we should always take the middle number as average. So middle between 6 and 7, so which is nothing but 6.5, which is the average. Let's take another example. So what they are given, 21, 23, 25, 27, which is nothing but consecutive odd numbers. So as usual, we take the middle number as the average. So what is between 23 and 25? It's nothing but 24. So 24 is the average here. So if you see the question to be falling under consecutive numbers or consecutive odd numbers or consecutive even numbers, always remember the middle number will always be your average. So you don't have to waste your time in finding out the average formula and doing substitution. In split second, as you see the question, just write the middle number as the answer. Let's solve a couple of problems in averages. So in case of averages, the common type of problem that you see is average speed. In average speed, there are two concepts. If they are of the same distance and if they are going on a different distance. So in case of same distance, we will face these two formulas. 2xy by x plus y. Here 3xyz by xy plus yz plus zx. Similarly, in case of different distance, the formula that we use is a plus b plus c divided by a by x plus b by y plus c by z. So these are the formulas which we should know for solving the average speed problem. Let's solve a couple of questions to understand this concept much better. The question that they have given is, a boy goes to school from home at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour and returns back at 30 kilometers per hour. Find the average speed. So we know the formula that 2xy by x plus y. Why are we taking this formula? Because they are given two variables like x and y. So 2 into 10, 30 by 10 plus 30 is nothing but 40 here. So 15 kilometers per hour is the average speed. How else they can ask? They can give you three speeds and ask you to find it using the formula 3xy by xy, 3xyz by xy plus yz plus zx. You can substitute in this formula to find the average speed for three variables. What is the other way of asking? They won't give you the speed. They will give you the distance and time. So we know that speed is equal to distance by time. So find the distance by time. You can find the speed. So once you know the speed, you will know the variable and you can substitute in either of the formula. So when you will apply this formula, because it is of the same distance, the guy is going to school from home and he is returning back to the home. So he is covering the same distance. Let's take his distance from home to school is 10 kilometers. Same distance is the one he is going to cover back from school to home. So in case of same distance, we have two formula, which is 2xy by x plus y and 3xyz by xy plus yz plus zx. So let's solve another question with different distance. So in case of this question, they are giving it as a boy covers 10 kilometers at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers at a speed of 7 kilometers per hour and 20 kilometers at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. So by seeing the question, we know that he is covering different distances. So the formula of different distance will be used here. So what is the formula? A plus B plus C divided by A by x plus B by y plus C by z. So ABC means a distance here and XYZ is as usual the speed. So what is the first distance he is covering? He is covering 10 kilometers. So 10. Then he is covering 30 kilometers. And then he is covering 20 kilometers. So he is covering 10 kilometers in 5 hours. So 10 by 5. He is covering 30 kilometers at 7 hours. And he is covering 20 kilometers at a speed of 15. So once you solve this equation, you will know the average speed that a boy takes for all these distances. The topic that we are going to look today is averages. In the previous video of average, we dealt with the basic concept of averages and some simple sums. In this video, you will be solving much more tougher problems to understand this concept better. So let's get started. The first question that they have given is, the average age of ABC is 28 years. If the average age of B and C is 29 years, what is the age of A in the years? So if you see in averages, it's more like ages concept where you have to split the question, understand it better. You can see that the answer is always inside the question if you understand it better. So let's split the question first. Average age of ABC is 28 years. So how do we write this? Average of ABC, A plus B plus C divided by 3 is equal to 28 years. What is the second part of the question? If the average age of B and C is 29 years, B and C average is 29 years. They are asking for what is the age of A. The age of A is the one that we have to find. So let's just solve these two. So A plus B plus C, this can be multiplied here. 28 into 3 is 24, 3 to 7, 8. So it is A plus B plus C is equal to 84 years. So next go to this question. B plus C by 2 is equal to 29. So B plus C is equal to 9, 18, 58. So now we have two equations. A plus B plus C is equal to 84 and B plus C is equal to 58. Once we subtract it, we know that we will obviously get the age of A. So A plus B plus C is equal to 84. B plus C is equal to 58. So let's subtract it. So B gets cancelled. We get the value of A. Subtract it. 6, 26. So the age of A in years is nothing but 26 years. So what did we do here? We split the question into 3. First we took the average of A, B and C. Then we took the average of B and C. So once you subtract it, you got the value of A. Let's go to the next question. So the next question is, the average of 10 numbers is 8. If the average of first 9 numbers is 7, find the 10th number. So as usual, let's split the question. First they are given average of 10 numbers is 8. So average of 10 numbers is 8. then the total value will be nothing but 10 into 8, which is nothing but 80. What is the second part of the question? If the average of first 9 numbers is 7, so the average of the first 9 numbers is 7. So then the total value becomes 9 into 7, which is nothing but 63. So this has the first 10 numbers, this has the first 9 numbers. So 10 minus 9, which is nothing but the last 10th number value you will get. So nothing but you have to subtract 80 minus 63, which is nothing but 10 minus C is 7, 17. So the 10th number is nothing but 17. So what did we do here? So they have given the question, the average of 10 numbers, we find the total value of it. Then they have given the average of first 9 numbers. So we got the total value of it. If you subtract it, you will obviously get the 10th number. Let's solve the another question. The next question is, the average of 10 numbers is 8. What will be the new average if each number is multiplied by 5? Let's split the question as usual. Average of 10 numbers is 8. The average of 10 numbers is 8, which is nothing but the total value is 10 into 8, which is nothing but 80. What will be the new average if each number is multiplied by 5, which is nothing but, so we know the total value is 80. We are telling each number is multiplied by 5, which can be written as 80 into 5, which is equal to 400. So what are they asking? They are not asking you to find the total. They are asking you to find the new average. So we know the total value is 400 and the total number of numbers is 10. So 400 by 10 will give you the average. So 400 by 10, which is nothing but 40. So 40 will be your new average. So what we did here, so the earlier 10 numbers average is 8. So we got the total value. Then we multiplied it with the number they told that, which can be multiplied with each number to get the new average. So we multiplied the given number into the total we found out, divided by the total number of numbers, which will give you the new average. Let's go to another sum. So the next question that I have given is average of 5 consecutive odd numbers starting with 5. So odd number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we are starting with 5. So it's 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Instead of adding all this and dividing it by 5, if you have seen our first video, we have told a trick that consecutive numbers, always the middle number is the average. So you can directly write it as 9. So in this case, it's a very small question where they have asked for starting with 5. There are certain questions if they will ask for starting with 91 or starting with 93, then you don't have to add each and every number and divide it by 5. So in case of the consecutive numbers, always the middle part is nothing but the average. So you directly write it as 9. Topic that we are going to look today is averages. So in the previous part of averages, we dealt with the simpler problems. From now on, we will be going into much tougher problems to understand the overall concept better. So the first question is, the average marks obtained by 150 students is 30. If the average marks of the passed candidate was 40 and that of the failed candidate was 20, find the number of candidates who passed the exams. So let's take the number of candidates as x. Okay, so first what they have given, average total number of students was 150. So total number of students is 150 and their average marks is 30. So we know to find the overall number, we should multiply the number of the students into the average. So 150 into 30 is nothing but 4500. So what else they have given? So they have given the average marks of the passed candidate was 40. So passed candidate, we don't know the number of people who passed. So let's consider that as x. So number of passed candidate is x and their average marks was 40. Okay, and then the number of failed candidate was 20. So number of failed candidates is nothing but 150 minus x. So why do we consider 150 minus x? The number of candidates must be an addition of both the passed and the failed candidates. So we take x as a passed candidate, then the failed candidate must be 150 minus x into what is their average? The average is 20. So now you should equate both these equations. So what do we do here? 4500 is equal to 40x plus 150 into 20 is nothing but 3000 minus 20x. So take the 3000 here, it becomes 1500. How 4500 minus 3000? Here 40x minus 20x is nothing but 20x and 75. So the number of candidates who passed the exam is nothing but 75. So how did we do it? The one side, on the left hand side, you took the over number of students and their average and equated it to the pass candidates and their average plus their failed candidates into average. Overall, by solving the whole sum, you will know to find the value of x. In certain problems, they will ask you, instead of the pass candidate, they will ask you the failed candidate. So after finding x, don't stop it there. You have to find 150 minus x in case of the failed candidates. Let's go to the next sum. The next question is, the average age of students is 7 years and the average age of 10 teachers is 50 years. If the average age of group of all teachers and students is 8 years, find the number of students. So this sum is more similar to the previous sum, but here in the question they have asked the overall number of students here. So let's get started. So first, to form the equation, we should know what is the total number. So there are two things in the question. So what they are there? One is the students and another one is teachers. So students and teachers. So let's go to the first line. In order to form the equation, you should know the right hand side and the left hand side. So average age of students is 7 years. So we don't know the number of students. So number and average. So number of students we don't know. Let's take it as x and their average is 7 years. Similarly, average age of 10 teachers is 50 years. So we know both the number and here. So for the left hand side of the equation, you should know the total number of students and teachers and their overall average. If the average of both the group of teachers and students is 8 years. So here we don't know the total number of teachers and students. So let's consider this equation. Total number of teachers and students. So we don't know the students, so we take it as x plus teachers. The overall average is nothing but 8 years. So into 8 is equal to, now form the equation. So they have given students is 7 years. So 7 into x plus average age of 10 teachers is 50 years. So 10 into 50. So let's solve this equation. So it becomes 8x plus 80 is equal to 7x plus 500. Take the x one side. 8x minus 7x becomes x. 500 minus 80 becomes 420. So we know the number of students is nothing but 420. Let's go to the next problem. So the next question is, the average monthly income of all the employees in a particular company is 20,000. Then they have given the average salary of the male employee is 22,000 and that of the female employee is 15,000. They have asked what is the ratio of male employees to the female employees. So let's consider male employees as x and female employees as y. So let's form an equation in a usual way. So we don't know the total number of employees, so we take it as x plus y into what is their overall average, it's 20,000, equal to what is the male employees, it is x into 22,000 plus what is the female employees, y into 15,000. So I am just dividing it by 1000. So it becomes x plus y 20 equal to x into 22 plus y into 15. Okay, so now 20x plus 20y is equal to 22x plus 15y. So bring all the common things to one place. So 22x will go there and it becomes 2x and 15y will come here and becomes 5y. So what is the ratio they have asked for? Male employees to female employees, which is x by y. So x by y is nothing but 5 by 2. So this is the ratio of the male employees to the female employees in that particular company. This is Aishwarya from freshersworld.com. Welcome to our YouTube channel on jobs and careers. The topic that we are going to look today is set theory. So what is set theory? So as the name suggests, there will be a set of things and the questions revolving around that is nothing but the set theory. So generally you find these kind of questions in a way that they will give you a paragraph where almost all the details will be there and you will be followed by 3 or 5 questions. Generally it comes in 3 or 5 mark question. So to know the basic concepts of set theory is always very important. So let's get started. I will explain the concept along with an example. So the question that I am taking here is, so a set of people speaking the languages English, Hindi and French, and I have taken it as a 3 Venn diagram and then there are certain numbers in it. So let's get started with one question so that we'll understand the concept better. So the first question that they are asking is, what is the number of people speak English? So if you see English, you can see that this whole circle comes under English. So we will take it as 10 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5. So the people who are speaking English is nothing but 10 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. So 10 plus 3 is 13 plus 5 18 plus 6 24. So number of people speaking English is nothing but 24. Next they are asking is number of people speaking Hindi. So when it comes to Hindi, you can see the circle B. So the whole circle comprises of the people speaking Hindi. So this is nothing but 3 plus 6 plus 4 plus 15. So 3 plus 6 plus 4 plus 15. So 6 plus 4, 10, 25 and 28. So next they are asking is people speaking French. So in case of French, you can see that the circle C, which is nothing but 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 20. 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 20. So 10, 20, 30, 35. So the first three questions are very simple. They are just asking number of people speaking English, Hindi and French. The next question that they are asking is the number of people speaking 3 languages. So let's go to the circle. So this is the people speaking English, this is the number of people speaking Hindi and this is the number of people speaking French. If you can see the middle intersection, it talks about the people who speaks all the 3 languages. So the answer for this question will be 6. So what is the next question? They are asking the people speaking only English. So here they are telling that they don't want people who are speaking Hindi or French. They want the people who knows only English. So if you see that, let's say earlier problem for English we took the whole circle. But if you see, if you're going to take 3 or 6 or 5, it is a combination of Hindi as well as French. But what is the question? They are asking only English. So only English is nothing but the value 10. So 10 people know only English but they don't know Hindi or French. Next they are asking is only Hindi. Similarly, how we did for this sum, we are going to do it here. For Hindi, it is nothing but 15 is the number of people who knows only Hindi. They don't know English or French here. So next is the number of people who knows only French. So French is nothing but, if you can see that 20 is the number of people. So these are very basic questions that we will see in set theory. So the next question is, they are asking both English and Hindi. So let's go to the circle back here. So they are telling the circle A and circle B, they are saying the people who knows both English and Hindi. So these are the people who know only English, these are the people who know only Hindi. So this intersection shows the people who know both English and as well as Hindi. So the answer here will be 6 plus 3, which is but 9. So similarly the next question, they are asking for the people who know Hindi and French. So Hindi and French is nothing but the circle B and C. So this circle and this circle. So the intersection of this is nothing but our answer, which is nothing but 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4, which is equal to 10. The number of people who know Hindi and French is nothing but 10. So next they are asking is that only English and Hindi. So find the difference between these two questions. They are asking the people who know English and Hindi. They didn't say that they shouldn't know French or something like that. They didn't mention anything in the question. But here they are specifically telling that we need only English and Hindi. We don't want people who knows French. So which is nothing but English and Hindi is nothing but these two circles. And this part of the circle represents the people who know only English and Hindi. So which is nothing but 3. Similarly, the next question is only Hindi and French. So these two circles represent Hindi and French, and the people who knows only Hindi and French is nothing but this part of the circle. So it is nothing but 4. So I hope you understand the differences between this. Here they are asking both English and Hindi. Here asking only English and Hindi. Similarly for the next question. So the next question is none of the languages. So in certain question they would have given it as none of the languages as 10. So we can directly write it here. In certain cases, they will give you the number of persons. From this, you have to subtract it. We will deal those kind of sums in a later part of our videos. But as of now, they have given it directly. So we are just taking it as such. So the next question that they have given is person who speaks both English and Hindi but not French. So what they are saying, the people who know English and Hindi but they don't talk French. So English and Hindi but they don't talk French. When you see this question, it is more similar to the one that we dealt earlier, that only English and Hindi. The same answer is going to be applicable here. So these are the people who know English and Hindi and as well as French. But here if you see, this is the intersection which talks about only English and Hindi. So for the answer for this question is nothing but 3. So only 3 persons who knows English and Hindi, but not French. So the next question they are saying that persons who know Hindi and French but not English. Similarly, this is similar to only Hindi and French type of question. So what do you know? We know directly the answer is 4. So these are the various type of question that you find it in a simple problems. So they will directly give you all the details here, and from which they would have given a set of 5 or 6 questions from which you have to provide the answers only from the question. So these are very simple problems. There are certain tough level problems where a lot of things will be missing here and there, where you need to use a formula to find the rest of the details and then start answering the questions. So as of now, we dealt with a very simple problem and the set of questions that has been followed by the problem. So now I am going to tell you the 2 tips that you should remember while solving the set theory question. So first is the formula, which is nothing but there is this total is equal to a plus b plus c minus both a and b minus both b and c minus both c and a, none plus abc. So there are a lot of questions which will be revolving around this. In a certain easy kind of aptitude exam, you can find that they would have given all the answers for within a, b and c, and there will be set of questions followed by it where you can directly answer from it. But generally what they do, they will give you few set of questions and then where you have to use this formula to find the rest of the answers, and then you have to start finding the questions. In the upcoming videos, we will be using this formula to solve a lot of questions. The second tip is that, let's take this question. Out of 100%, at least each person knows one of the 3 languages. When you find the word at least in your question, so as we know that at least is nothing but minimum to maximum. So at least one person, minimum one person knows all the 3 languages, which means people who don't know either of the language is nothing but 0. So people who know none of the language is 0. So in most of the questions, what they will do is that you will be thinking that why am I not able to find none though I have solved this using this formula and all that. That's because there's a catch in the question. In the question itself, they have already mentioned that at least one person knows each of the language, which means directly you can go and write it in your answer paper that none is 0. So if this is the important thing that you should remember while solving the problem in set theory. The topic that we are going to look today is set theory part 2. In the part 1 of set theory, we dealt with a problem where they have given you the Venn diagram and all the details in the Venn diagram, and there will be a set of questions followed in it where you have to directly answer it. In the second part of the set theory, what will be dealing it? They will be given you the middle part of the question, and then from then on we will be solving the other parts. So in the another part of the video, we will be dealing with how without giving this part, we will be finding the other parts in this. So let's get started with the first question. A survey of 100 students asked them about the languages that they speak. 50 students speaks Hindi, 35 students speak English, and 25 students speaks French. 20 speaks Hindi and English, 15 speaks English and French, 12 speaks French and Hindi, and 3 speaks everything. So the main trick here is that you have to start from the inner circle. So inner intersection is nothing but this. So you have to start filling from this intersection so that you will get all the answers. Let's say if you're going to start filling from the huge intersection, then you will be stuck in between. So let's get started. So first they have given, so 3 people speak all the 3 languages. So you put 3 directly here. So the next step is that from the smallest intersection, we are going to the next biggest, which is nothing but 2 intersection circles. So the next data they have given us, 20 speaks Hindi and English. So 20 is the number of people who speaking Hindi and English, which is nothing but this intersection. So we already know 3 speaks all the languages. So 20 people speak Hindi and English. How to find this? 20 minus 3, which is nothing but 17. So 17 are the people who speaks English and Hindi only. So similarly, we are going to do it for Hindi and French and English and French. How to do it? 15 speaks English and French. So 15 people speaks English and French. We know already have the common thing as 3. So 15 minus 3, which is nothing but 12. Next, 12 speaks French and Hindi. So 12. So we know the common one 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. So from the in between, we have also find the 2 common intersection also. What we have to find next? We have to find the Hindi only, English only and French only to complete the overall Venn diagram. How to find it? What is the next set of questions they have given? 50 students speaks Hindi. So 50 students speaks Hindi, 35 students speak English, 25 students speak French. Okay, so we have to find the Hindi only, English only and French only part. Let's get started. Hindi only, how to find it? We know overall people who are speaking Hindi is 50 minus all the intersection part. 17 plus 3, which is nothing but 50 minus 29, which is 21. Next, we have to find English only. English only is nothing but 35 minus 17 plus 3 plus 12. 17 plus 3 is 20, 20 plus 12 is 32, equal to 3. Next is French only. French only is nothing but we know 25 minus 9 plus 3 plus 12, which is 24, which is 1. So we have completed the overall circle. What is the one thing that is missing? We have to find the none part of it. So if you have seen the set theory part 1, we would have been discussed about a trick where in the question itself, if they have mentioned at least means none is always 0. So if you read the question, they haven't mentioned at least anywhere. So it means that we have to find the none. So none is nothing but they have given 100 students were surveyed. So 100 minus all these intersections will be considered here. So 21 plus 17 plus 3 plus 9 plus 3 plus 12 plus 1. So 17 plus 3 is 20, 41, 50, 53, 54, 66. So 100 minus 66. Which is nothing but 34. So 34 are the people who doesn't speak all 3 languages. Now you know the none and you also know all the values in your Venn diagram. With the help of this, you will be able to solve all the questions that they have given in your aptitude exam. The topic that we are going to look today is set theory. In the previous videos of set theory, we understood the basic concept of set theory and also we dealt with a problem in which the center value was given. So the topic that we are going to look today is the one where center value is not given and how to solve those problems easily to find the answers. So let's go to the problem. So question that they have given is, there are total 71 students in a class and they speak 3 languages, which is nothing but English, Hindi and French. At least each student speaks one of the languages. And they are saying 41 students speaks English, 22 students speaks Hindi and 48 students speak French. The students who are speaking English and Hindi is nothing but 13, English and French is nothing but 21 and Hindi and French is nothing but 15. So we know that in the basic concept video we dealt that always we should find the central value first and then start solving. So the major mistake students make is that they start putting all these numbers and assume this as x and start solving. That's a more tedious method and it's going to take you more time. So in the first video we told about the formula that total is equal to a plus b plus c minus both ab minus both bc minus both ca plus none of abc and all of abc. So we are going to substitute the values here to first find out the unknown variable. So we know that the total is 71. A is nothing but, here we mean English, Hindi and French. So 41 plus 22 plus 48 minus both A and B is nothing but English and Hindi is 13. Both B and C is nothing but English and French, which is 21. Minus Hindi and French is 15. So the catch here is none ABC. So if you see in the question, at least each student speaks one of the languages. In the previous video we told that if in the question, if the word at least is there, then immediately we should know none is nothing but 0. So the none ABC is nothing but 0 here. Plus all ABC is the one that we are going to find, so keep it as x. So add all this. 41 plus 22 plus 48 is nothing but 111 minus 13 plus 5, 4, 9, 49, plus x. So x is equal to 49 comes here. So 120 minus 119 is nothing but 9. So the unknown variable here is nothing but 9. So we know that the unknown variable is 9. Now let's start putting all the answers and find the question. So English, Hindi and French. So people who knows Hindi, English is 41, Hindi is 22, French is 48. So how did we solve last time? We went from the back of the question to the front. So we will start from going from the back. So nothing but English and Hindi is 13. So English and Hindi is 13. So the overall circle that they are telling is 13. So we know that the people who speaks all the three languages 9. So 13 minus 9 is nothing but 4. So similarly for English and French. So English and French is nothing but 21. We know already 9 is here, so people speaking all the three languages. So it's nothing but 12. Similarly for Hindi and French. Hindi and French is 15. So together is, now we know the people who knows English and Hindi, Hindi and French and English and French. So now we all know the middle intersection. Now we have to find the only part of the question. So how to find this? We know that overall people who are speaking English is nothing but 41. So how to find the English only part is nothing but 41 minus addition of all this. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 plus 12 is 25. So which is nothing but 16. So 16 are the number of people who speaks only English. Now we have to find Hindi only. So how to find Hindi only? It's 22 minus addition of all this. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 6 is 19. So 22 minus 19 is nothing but 3. So 3 are the number of people who speaks Hindi only. Now you have to find French only. So French only is nothing but 48 minus 12 plus 9 is 21. 21 plus 6 is 27. So 48 minus 27 is nothing but 21. So 21 is the number of people who speaks French only. After solving all this, whatever the question that they have given in the question, you will be able to solve it very easily. So how did we do it? First we have to find the middle part value. Is the number of people who speaks all the three languages. For that, what did we do? So we know that formula total is equal to a plus b plus c minus both ab minus both bc minus both ca plus none plus all abc. So we know that from the question at least each student speaks one of the languages, which means none is 0. So we automatically substitute 0 and we put all the variables that they have given in the question and find this intersection part. So once we know the intersection part, it is very easy to solve. And we find the smaller intersections and then we go to the only part. So once you get to know all the variable, it will be very easy for you to solve the sums that they have given in the question. The topic that we are going to look today is set theory. So in the previous videos of set theory, we have dealt with the two important concepts of solving the problems with the center value and without the center value. In today's videos, we will be solving the various simple problems that falls under the set theory concept. So let's get started. So the question that they have given is, in a class of 100 students, 35 like science, 45 like maths and 10 both. How many like either of them and how many like neither of them? So you know the formula, n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. So this is the formula that we are going to use to solve this problem. So here they have told that there are 100 students and they like 35 like science and 45 like maths. So n of S union M is equal to n of S plus n of M minus n of S intersection M. So what are the values that they have given? So the value that they have given is 35 students like science plus number of students who like maths is 45 minus n of n intersection is nothing but both, which is 10. So 80 minus 10 is 70. So this is nothing but how many like either of them, either science or maths is nothing but n of S union M, which is 70. What is the other part of the question? They are asking how many like neither of them, who doesn't like both science and maths. So we know either of them, which is nothing but 70, and we know the total number of students, which is nothing but 100. So neither can be found out by 100 minus 70, which is nothing but 30. So let's solve another problem. The next question that they have given is, in a group of 115 people, their proof identity was verified. So some had passport, some had voter ID and some had both. So the number of people who had passport is 65 and the number who had both passport and voter ID is nothing but 30. So what the question is? The question is how many had voter ID only. To understand this, let's draw a Venn diagram. So they are saying, this is, let's say this is passport and this is voter ID. They are saying 65 had passport and 30 people had both passport and the voter ID. So the total number of people they took the survey is 150. So we are going to use the same formula to solve it. So N of P union V is equal to passport and voter ID, N of P plus N of V minus N of P intersection V. So we know the total number of people is nothing but 115. N of P is nothing but 65 plus N of V we don't know, we are going to find it. And N of P intersection V is 30. So 115, 65 minus 30 is nothing but 35. So is equal to 80. So 80 is the number of person who is having only voter ID. So what did we do here? To understand this better, we drew a Venn diagram to know which one we have to exactly find it. So the thing that we have to find is voter ID only. We just use the normal formula that we have. Then we substituted it and then we got the answer. Let's solve another problem. So the next question that they have given is, there are G number of first year students. M is the number of students who took maths course and L is the number of students who took the language course and B is the number of students who took both maths and the language course. They are asking you to find the percentage of students who neither takes the maths course or the language course. So here they haven't given you any value. So obviously in your options you will be having an equation which you need to find out with the given question. So similarly, let's find out the number of students who like either of the courses. So which is nothing but N of M union L is equal to N of M plus N of L minus N of M intersection L. Here N of M is nothing but M, N of L is nothing but L minus N of M intersection L is nothing but B. So this is nothing but G. So G is equal to M plus L minus B. So what are they asking for? They are asking for the neither of them taking the course. So neither is nothing but G minus M plus L minus B, which can be rewritten as G minus M minus L plus B. So are they asking for this equation? No, they are asking for you to find the percentage. Percentage is nothing but, we know the neither value which is nothing but G plus B minus M minus L divided by the total number of students, which is nothing but G into 100. Simple, right? So what we did, we used the same formula that we used to do. Instead of number here, they have given you a variable here. Variable will be substituted in the place of the formula, and then here the question is to find the percentage. We know percentage is nothing but the given value divided by the total into 100. So that's what we have done here. So if you are a person who is looking for a job, kindly register in our freshersworld.com, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.